In ancient Egypt, a god was murdered by his own brother. His body was cut into 14 pieces and scattered across an entire kingdom. Yet thousands of years later, millions of people still prayed in his name, because he had achieved the impossible. He had returned from the dead. But this story is not just about a god. It is a story of betrayal, a story of love stronger than death, and a resurrection that would change Egypt forever. This is the fate of Osiris. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Mythos World. If you love stories where gods bleed, where kingdoms fall, where love refuses to surrender, then make yourself comfortable, because today we are about to explore one of the most powerful stories ever told. A story that survived for more than 3,000 years. A story about death, pain, resurrection, and above all, hope. Take a deep breath, and let's travel back in time. Before the tragedy, there was a golden age. Osiris was not a conqueror. He was not a warrior. He was a king, a beloved king, a just king, a king his people called the Good One. At that time, humanity still lived in chaos. People knew nothing of laws, nothing of agriculture, nothing of civilization. So Osiris taught them everything. How to grow wheat, how to bake bread, how to live together, how to build a society. And wherever he went, people cheered his name. Children ran after him. The elderly blessed him. The kingdom flourished. But whenever a light shines too brightly, it creates a shadow. And that shadow was Seth. Seth was Osiris' brother, the god of deserts, the god of storms, the god of chaos. But deep inside, his greatest suffering was not anger, it was envy. Every day, he watched his brother receive love and admiration. Every day, he saw crowds celebrate Osiris. And every day, one question haunted him. Why him? Why not me? Slowly, jealousy grew like a poison until it consumed everything else. And Seth made a decision. If the people could not love him, then he would destroy the one they loved. In secret, Seth commissioned a magnificent chest made of precious wood, covered in gold, decorated with rare stones. But it concealed a secret. It had been crafted using the exact measurements of Osiris's body. Then came the day of the feast. Music filled the air. Wine flowed freely. The guests laughed and celebrated. Seth seemed relaxed, almost happy. Then he revealed the chest. I shall give it to whoever fits inside perfectly. One by one, the guests tried. Too small, too large, too narrow. Then Osiris stepped forward, smiling, confident. He lay down inside, and he fit perfectly. The crowd applauded. Seth smiled, a smile no one would ever forget. Clack! The lid slammed shut. Accomplices rushed forward, hammers struck. Molten lead sealed the chest. Osiris screamed, but no one could hear him. Moments later, the chest was thrown into the Nile. Alone in complete darkness, the king god drowned. When Isis learned what had happened, her world collapsed. But she refused to surrender. So she left, alone. Across deserts, across kingdoms, across years. Eventually, she found the chest in Byblos, far from Egypt. A great tree had grown around it, and when the chest was finally opened, Isis found the man she loved. Imagine this for a moment. You spend years searching for someone. You cross the world for them. You refuse to lose hope. And when you finally find them, they are no longer breathing. The world becomes silent. But the story does not end there. Seth discovers that Isis has recovered the body, and his fury explodes. He finds Osiris once again. And this time, he decides to erase him completely. 1 piece. 2 pieces. 3 pieces. 4. Then more. And more. And more. Until 14. 14 pieces, scattered across all of Egypt. Seth was no longer trying to kill his brother. He was trying to erase his memory. But Isis was more stubborn than death itself. Together with her sister MYTHOS, she began searching again, and again, and again, across the entire kingdom. 13 pieces were found. Then Anubis arrived, guardian of the dead. Together, they rebuilt the body. They wrapped each piece in sacred linen. They spoke forgotten prayers. They performed a miracle. And for the first time in history, a mummy was created. Then, Osiris opened his eyes. But Osiris could never again rule the living. He had crossed a boundary, the boundary of death. So he descended into the Duat, the realm of the dead, and he became the supreme judge of souls. Every person who died would stand before him. Their heart would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the feather of truth. If the heart was pure, the soul would live forever. If not, it would vanish for eternity. Why did this story fascinate the Egyptians for more than 3,000 years? Because Osiris is us. We fall, we suffer, we are betrayed, we are broken, sometimes shattered into pieces. But the myth tells us something extraordinary. Even when destroyed, we can be reborn. Even when lost, we can be found. Even when broken, we can be rebuilt. And above all, hatred divides. Love restores. Most people believe Osiris is the hero of this story. But without Isis, he would have remained dead. Perhaps the real miracle is not resurrection. Perhaps the real miracle is someone who refuses to give up. Osiris lost his kingdom, his body, his life, twice. And yet, he became eternal. The next time you feel broken, remember Osiris. Even gods can fall, but legends always rise again. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe now, because here we bring forgotten myths back to life. And in the next episode, we will tell the legendary story of the war between Horus and Seth, a divine conflict that changed the fate of Egypt forever. So activate the bell and join us for the next chapter of the legend.